Let's move to the next chapter. The next chapter is composition levy. Everyone listen to me very carefully. Let's take a quick linking of the chapter. Everyone over here. We started learning GST with goods or service. Goods or service has to be supplied. Supply can be either interstate or supply can be either intrastate. Interstate supply, I GST will get levied. Intrastate supply, C GST will get levied. Listen to me very carefully. Once GST gets levied, no, GST has to be collected and paid by a taxable person. It means I should collect GST and I should pay GST to the government. You know what? Whenever you have to collect and pay GST to the government, you will say, sir, this is my output tax liability, this is my input tax credit. Output say input you will set off and balance you will pay to the government. Do you guys agree with me? Now, some people went to the government and told, sir, taking output, charging GST, taking input, setting off, paying the balance, sir, so much of headache is there. Please give us a simpler scheme. We don't want to take any input. We don't want to charge any GST. Sir, please give us a simpler scheme. And government went ahead and told, okay, fine, I will go ahead and give you composition scheme. And government, instead of this section number 9, government told those people can go ahead and follow which scheme, everyone? Composition levy. And here comes the chapter of composition levy under section number 10. Everyone over here now. First of all, who are the people who are eligible for composition scheme? Remember one thing, if your turnover in the preceding financial year was up to how much, everyone? 1.5 crore or 75 lakh. This 50 lakh you leave it, this also amount you leave it as of now. Okay? You don't cut anything, you just keep listening. So if your turnover in the preceding financial year was up to how much, everyone? 1.5 crore or 75 lakh. Sir, for whom 1.5 crore is applicable and for whom 75 lakh is applicable? You have to remember 75 lakh is applicable if you are in the state of Mantus. Sir, what is Mantus? M for Meghalaya, Manipur and Mizoram. Okay? A for Arunachal, N for Nagaland, T for Tripura, U for Uttarakhand, S for Sikkim. Always remember one thing, if you are from the state of Mantus, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, A for Arunachal Pradesh, N for Nagaland, T for Tripura, Uttarakhand and Sikkim, then for you what is the limit applicable, everyone? 75 lakh. But if you are from the state of HOJA, H for Himachal Pradesh, O for any other state which is there, J for Jammu and Kashmir and A for Assam, then always remember for you what is the limit applicable? 1.5 crore is the limit applicable for you. Can I go ahead, everyone? Everyone over here now. Listen. So Mantus के लिए the limit is 75 lakh and Hoja के लिए limit is only 1.5 crore. Now tell me one thing. Supposingly under my PAN, I have gone ahead and taken registration in Mantus also. I have taken in Hoja also. Then can you tell me what limit will be applicable to me? 1.5 crore or 75 lakh? Whichever is lower, 75 lakh will be applicable to you. Can we go ahead, everyone? Everyone over here now. Listen. So if your turnover in the preceding financial year was up to how much, everyone? 1.5 crore or 75 lakh, then in the current financial year, you will get in the current financial year, up to a turnover of 1.5 crore, you don't cut anything. Up to a turnover of 1.5 crore or 75 lakh, you will be given one option. What is the option, everyone? You can be under normal scheme also, you can come under composition scheme. If you come under composition scheme, remember one thing. Who are the people who, okay, if you come under composition scheme, always remember PAN-wise, all India basis have to opt together. PAN-wise, all India basis has to opt together. What do you mean by this, everyone? For an example, under my PAN number, I have gone ahead and taken registration in the state of Assam also. I have gone ahead and taken registration in the state of Karnataka also. I have one registration over here, one registration over here. Remember one thing, if you come under composition scheme, from one state, all your registrations have to come under composition scheme. It can't be that one is under composition scheme, one is not under composition scheme. That will not work. So it says over here that pan-India, pan-wise, all India basis has to opt together. Now, sir, if I am going for composition scheme, who are the people who are eligible for composition scheme? I have gone ahead and told over here who are the people who are eligible. Remember one thing, if you are a manufacturer, if you are a trader, or you are a restaurant or catering service provider, then you are a person who is eligible for composition scheme. Sir, who is a manufacturer, a trader and restaurant? Remember, section number 10.1 says MTR are those people who are eligible. Sir, whenever I am eligible, how much GST I have to pay? Always remember one thing, whenever you buy anything, you should not take any input tax credit. If you buy from registered person, don't take any input tax credit. If you take 9.3 and 9.4 wala supplies on which GST has to be paid under RCM, you will have to pay GST under RCM and applicable rate has to be paid and you cannot take any input tax credit. Next. Everyone over here now. Also remember, you cannot collect any tax from your customers. When you are selling them, don't collect any tax from the customer. You have to issue what, everyone? Bill of supply. And always remember, when you are not giving tax invoice to your customer cannot go ahead and take the input tax credit also, because bill of supply ka basis pay ITC cannot be taken. Is my point clear to all? Sir, who are the people eligible? MTR, manufacturer, trader and restaurant. A manufacturer will always pay how much, everyone? 0.5% and 0.5%. Trader will pay 0.5 and 0.5. Restaurant will pay 2.5% and 2.5%. Always remember, this is your own obligation. You cannot collect it from your customer. It means you cannot take ITC also, you cannot charge your customer also. From your pocket, you have to pay this amount of GST. Now, I want to go ahead and ask you one thing. For an example, my taxable supplies is 10 lakh, my exempt supplies is 15 lakh rupees. What is my turnover? Tell no. 25 lakh. Do you guys agree with me? My turnover is 25 lakh. Now, if I am a manufacturer and if I am a trader, on what amount will I go ahead and pay GST? Always remember, manufacturer pays of the turnover. It means I'll pay on 0.5% and 0.5% of what? 25 lakh rupees. Is my point clear to all? But if you are a trader, remember one thing, manufacturer pays of the trader, manufacturer pays of the turnover, restaurant also pays of the turnover, but trader always pays only of the taxable supplies. They don't pay of the total turnover. They pay only of the taxable supplies. And hence, can you tell me, a trader will pay 0.5% and 0.5% of what? 10 lakh rupees. I hope this point is clear to all. Yes, sir. Point is clear. Chalo, let's go ahead. Everyone over here now. Now on the right hand side, tell me one thing first of all. What did I tell you till now? I went in and told you, if your preceding financial year turnover is how much, everyone? 1.5 crore or 75 lakh. 1.5 crore for whom, everyone? Hoja. And 75 lakh for whom? Mantas. What is Mantas, everyone? Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram. A for Arunachal, N for Nagaland, T for Tripura, U for Uttarakhand, S for Sikkim. Remember, for you the limit applicable is 75 lakh. And Hoja, the limit applicable is 1.5 crore. Remember, if your turnover is 1.5 crore, 75 lakh, then in the current financial year, can you go for composition scheme? Tell no. Yes, if you want to go for composition scheme, who are the people who are eligible? MTR. Manufacturer is eligible, trader is eligible, restaurant is eligible. Manufacturer will pay 0.5, 0.5. Trader will pay 0.5, 0.5 of taxable turnover, and restaurant will pay 2.5 and 2.5. This has to be paid out of your own pocket. You cannot take ITC. You cannot charge any GST. Can we go ahead, everyone? Next. Sir, now who are the people who are not eligible? Who are the people who are not eligible. Section number 10.2 goes ahead and talks about ineligible people under section number 10.1. Means as a manufacturer, as a trader, or as a restaurant wala also, you can become ineligible if you are falling in these 5 criteria. I call them mines over here. What do you mean by mines? M for manufacturer of pan masala. Manufacturer of pan masala. Aerated water. What is aerated water? Cold drinks, etc. I for ice cream and other edible ice. Ice cream, ice, okay. Tobacco, fly ash bricks, blocks, aggregate, or bricks of fossil meal, similar siliceous earth, bricks of fossil meal or similar siliceous earth, building bricks, earthen or roofing tile. Always remember one thing, if you are a manufacturer of this item, you will not be eligible for composition scheme. What are this item, everyone? Pan masala, aerated water, ice cream, tobacco, bricks. Bricks are of various types. Fly ash bricks, bricks of fossil meal or similar siliceous earth, or building bricks. Okay, everyone? And earthen or roofing tile. Then remember one thing, you will become ineligible for composition scheme. Then they are telling, I am done. Okay, tell me one thing. I am a trader of pan masala. Eligible, not eligible? Remember, manufacturers are ineligible. Traders are always eligible. Manufacturers are ineligible. Traders are always eligible. Next, I for interstate. Interstate outward supplier of goods. Tell me one thing. I am doing interstate outward supply. Interstate outward supplier of goods. Eligible, not eligible? Not eligible. But sir, can I? Okay. If I am supplying from one state to another, eligible, not eligible? Not eligible. But can I buy from other state? No problem. Can I buy from other country? No problem. Remember one thing, interstate outward means you cannot sell from one state to another state. But can you buy from other state? Yes. Next, if you are a supplier of non-taxable goods or service, what is non-taxable under GST, everyone? What is non-taxable under GST? Alcoholic liquor for human consumption and HP man. Arey, what is HP man? High-speed diesel, petroleum crude, motor spirit, aviation turbine fuel, and natural gas. Remember one thing, everyone, non-taxable goods and service, if you are supplying, then you will also become ineligible. And then they are telling, if you are NRTP or CTP, NRTP or CTP is also ineligible. Also, if you are supplying what? Services through the e-commerce, where e-commerce will deduct TCS, then also you are ineligible for what, everyone? Composition scheme. Then if you are a service provider, then also you are service provider other than what? Restaurant and catering, then also you are ineligible for composition scheme. Tell me one thing, who are the people ineligible? Manufacturer of what? Pan masala, aerated water, ice cream, tobacco, bricks, earthen and roofing tile. I for interstate outward supplier, N for non-taxable goods and service ka supplier, N for NRTP, CTP, E for person supplying services through e-commerce. If you are supplying what? Service through e-commerce, here is the e-commerce operator. If you are supplying through e-commerce and e-commerce will deduct what? TCS, then you will not be eligible for composition scheme. And S for service provider. Always remember one thing, service provider other than restaurant and catering. Are we all clear till here? This point I will talk, don't worry about it. This point I have not spoken yet now. Now tell me one thing. Service providers are ineligible, right? But I went ahead and gave money to use to someone. People, if you give money to use to someone, it's a goods or service? Service. So if I put money in the bank account, it means I'm giving the bank my money to use. Bank gave me interest. It means if I earn interest, I'll become a service provider. Arey, tell me one thing. If I'm giving money to the bank and bank is giving me interest, it means I'll become what? Service provider. It means I'll become ineligible because service providers are what? Ineligible. That is why they went ahead and told that whenever you are checking the turnover of a person, always remember one thing, even if he has interest income, ignore the interest and think that he is not earning any interest and he will be eligible for composition scheme. They are telling over here, whenever you are checking eligibility of a person, always remember exclude interest or any discount. What discount is there? Bill discounting wala discount. So they are telling over here, interest always has to be excluded. Next. Now I went ahead and told, sir, can I provide little services? And hence government went ahead and told, you can provide little services also if you are a MTR. People, I'm a manufacturer, I'm a trader, I'm a restaurant. I told, sir, I'm manufacturing mobile phone. Can I give little service also of the mobile phone? Government went ahead and told, okay. And hence government went ahead and told, even if you are providing 10% of the turnover or 5 lakh, whichever is higher, still you will be eligible for composition scheme, because here what they told, service provider except restaurant or catering, or who is going ahead and providing little services. Are you allowed to provide little service? Tell no. Yes. How much? 10% of the turnover or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. This 10% of the turnover or 5 lakh, whichever is higher, you will see of the current year or last year. Last year ka turnover ka 10% or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. Everyone over here, you tell me one thing. Supposingly, this is my preceding financial year. Everyone, preceding financial year, my taxable supplies was supposingly 40 lakh. Okay? My interest income, okay, 140 lakh. My interest income was 30 lakh rupees. Can you tell me what is the aggregate turnover if I want to see whether current financial year may I am eligible for composition or not eligible? Will you consider interest or you will not consider? You will not consider. So it will be only 140 lakhs. Is my point clear? Am I eligible in the current year or not eligible? Are eligible, not eligible? Eligible. If I am eligible, can you tell me how much services can I provide in the current year? 14 lakh or 5 lakh? Which is higher? 14 lakh rupees. Always remember, you can provide services how much? You know what? More than you, students who are sitting online are commenting. Done. You guys are not talking only. Comment quickly, Baba. You ate too much, is it? Then tell quickly. Answer. 14 lakh or 5 lakh, whichever is. Give competition. They are giving competition. You shall also give competition. How much? 14 lakh rupees. Can I go ahead, everyone? Next. Is this point clear to all? Now, sir, but you remember one thing. In the current year also, your turnover should not exceed how much? 1.5 crore. Is it including 14 lakh or excluding 14 lakh? Including 14 lakh. You should not exceed how much, everyone? 1.5 crore. Everyone over here now. Let's go ahead. People on the board, tell me one thing. I told you, if your turnover in the preceding financial year is 1.5 crore or 75 lakh, then in the current financial year, are you eligible for composition scheme? In the preceding financial year, my turnover is 1.5 crore or 75 lakh. Then in the current financial year, am I eligible? Yes. If you are eligible, who are the people eligible? MTR. Who are the people ineligible? Mines. If you are eligible person, can you provide little services also? How much? 10% or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. So I have gone ahead and told MTR allowed to provide services up to 10% of the turnover or excluding interest. Means last year ka turnover when you are taking, please exclude interest. So 10% of the turnover in the preceding financial year or 5 lakh, whichever is higher. Tell me one thing. I can provide current year mein 14 lakh ka services, right everyone? In this 14 lakh, will interest be included in current year or no? No, remember one thing, interest will not be included anywhere. It means this is purely other services other than interest. And that is what they are going ahead and telling. After calculating 10% of 5 lakh, whichever is higher, remember, you should always exclude what? Interest or discount in the current year also. Sir, I am a chartered accountant. Can I go for composition scheme? They went ahead and told composition scheme only manufacturer, trader and restaurant. But some people went ahead and told, sir, I am providing goods also, I am supplying services also, or I am purely a service provider, sir. Can I go for composition scheme? So government went ahead and told, mainly government went ahead and launched for service provider or those people who are providing services more than that 10% of 5 lakh, whichever is higher. For an example, one state may I am supplying goods, one state may I am supplying services. So government went ahead and told those people who are service providers can go for a scheme which is section number 10(2)(a). So if you are ineligible under section number 10(1) or you are ineligible under section number 10(2), remember you can go for which scheme everyone? Section number 10(2)(a). Government went ahead and told over here section number 10(2)(a), option to a registered person with aggregate turnover less than equal to what everyone? 50 lakh. But to go for section number 10(2)(a), your last year turnover should be only up to 50 lakh. Sir, which state 50 lakh? Any state, if you are there, it should be how much everyone? 50 lakh. So they are telling option to a registered person with aggregate turnover up to 50 lakh in the preceding financial year. Your turnover should be excluding what everyone? Interest or discount. Plus you are ineligible under 10.1 and 10.2, means you are not eligible under 10.1 and 10.2. Then you can come for section number 10.2A. Section number 10.2A goes ahead and says you have to pay how much percent? 6%, 3% CGST and 3% SGST. And of your turnover in the state or UT, you don't have to pay of your interest or discount ka income. You have to pay only of your other turnover which is there. How much you have to pay? 3% CGST and 3% SGST. Sir, what are the condition? Who are the people? What are the conditions you should fulfill if you want to be under section number 10.2A? People, tell me one thing. Who are the people ineligible under section number 10.1? Mines. In 10.2A, no. 10.2A scheme was given mainly for whom? Service provider, correct? And hence they told only mine are ineligible. It means under section number 10.2 also, they did not write S. Why? Because this scheme was mainly for whom? Service provider. And hence they went ahead and told, if you are mine, what is mine everyone? You should not be manufacturing goods or service which are notified. You know notified? You should not be engaged in making interstate outward supply. You should not be supplying non-taxable goods and service. You should not be NRTP or CTP. You should not be supplying services through e-commerce, where e-commerce will deduct what everyone? TCS. Remember one thing, if you are mine, then you will become ineligible under 10.2A also. Is my point clear to all? Tell me one thing everyone, what did I tell you till now? I went ahead and told you, if your preceding financial year turnover is only up to 1.5 crore or 75 lakh, then in the current financial year, you are eligible for composition scheme. Who are the people eligible under 10.1? MTR. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 2.5, 2.5. You have to pay out of your own pocket. You cannot take ITC, you cannot charge any GST. Who are the people ineligible? Mines. If I am ineligible under 10.1 and 10.2, I can come for 10.2A. But condition is your last year turnover should be up to 50 lakh rupees. And in the current year also you should not exceed 50 lakh rupees. How much do you have to pay of your turnover everyone? 3% and 3% you have to pay. Who are the people ineligible under mine also? Ineligible under 10.2A also? Mine. Can I go ahead everyone? Next. Now everyone over here. Sir, composition dealer, how will he make the payment? He will make quarterly payment. Every quarter, whatever is the turnover, he has to go ahead and make the payment and he has to file an intimation. What is the intimation? CMP 08. Always remember, payment has to be done quarterly by what date? 18th, and you have to file what everyone? CMP 08. Once the year gets over, you have to file one return which is GSTR 4 by what date? 30th of April. So once the year gets over, you have to file by 30th of April what return? GSTR 4. And also annual return has to be filed by composition dealer. Which is the annual return everyone? GSTR 9A by 31st of December. Then always remember, now supposingly I am a composition dealer, I gave you a bill mentioning my GSTN number. What will you tell me? You will tell, sir, why are you not charging any GST? Yes or no everyone? If I give you a bill without going in and charging you GST, but I mentioned my GSTN number, you will ask me why are you not charging GST? Hence in my bill, I should write, I am a composition taxable person and I am not eligible to collect tax on my supply. And also on my head means my notice board which is there in my shop, I should write at my whichever notice board is there at my principal place or additional place that I am a composition taxable person. Can you tell me how to take composition scheme everyone? Can you tell me how to take composition scheme? Remember, if you are going ahead and taking new registration, no, when you are filing your form for registration GST REC 01, in that part B may only you can say, sir, I want composition scheme, and your registration will come under composition scheme. It says you should exercise the option at the time of registration in part B of GST REC 01. When you are filing your part B of GST REC 01, in that part B only you should tick and say, sir, I want registration under composition, and your registration will come under composition scheme. But sir, supposingly I already took registration normally. Normal registered person, and I want to switch to composition scheme. Always remember one thing, registered person switching to composition scheme, you have to file one intimation prior to the commencement of the financial year. In which form? CMP02. One intimation can be filed pan-wise and not state-wise. Means not state-wise. It means across India, if I have 3 branches, 3 registrations are there. Now I want to get inside composition scheme. When you want to get inside composition scheme, you can file only one CMP02 from any one of your registration, and all your registration will come under composition scheme. Everyone over here down now. Sir, this CMP02 intimation which is there, is it required to be filed every year to continue under composition scheme, or once I come under composition scheme, I can continue unless I become ineligible? It says intimation is not required to be filed every year to continue under composition scheme. Once you come under composition scheme, you can continue to be under composition scheme. Every year this intimation is not required. Tell me one thing, everyone. Supposingly, if I go ahead and tell you, this is the preceding financial year and this is the current financial year. Okay? Preceding financial year, I am there in the state of Delhi also. I am there in the state of Tamil Nadu also. Delhi mein, my taxable supplies is 40 lakh rupees. My, supposingly, turnover is how much, everyone? 40 lakh. And Tamil Nadu mein, my taxable supply is supposingly 40 lakh. 60 lakh rupees, and that is my turnover. How much is my turnover? 60 lakh rupees. My question to you guys, everyone. What is my turnover in Tamil Nadu? 60. Here, how much is my turnover? 40 lakh. If I want to check in the current year whether I am eligible or not, will I see turnover or will I see aggregate turnover? Tell no. Aggregate turnover. Can you tell me what is my aggregate turnover? 100 lakhs. Am I eligible under composition scheme? Yes or no? Yes. Am I eligible under composition scheme? Yes. Now listen. To check eligibility, whether you are eligible or not, you have to see what, everyone? Pan-wise, aggregate turnover. It means my last year ka aggregate turnover I have to see. I will not see turnover. I will see what? Aggregate turnover. And if aggregate turnover did not cross the threshold limit, I can come under composition scheme. Chalo, now I am under composition scheme. In the current year, my Delhi ka turnover, taxable supply is 30 lakh rupees, and my Tamil Nadu ka taxable supplies ka turnover supposingly is 40 lakh rupees. Can you tell me, when I have to pay GST under composition scheme, I will pay GST on state-wise turnover or aggregate turnover? Remember, in Tamil Nadu, I will pay 0.5, Delhi, I will pay 0.5% CGST and 0.5% Delhi SGST. In Tamil Nadu, I will pay 0.5% CGST and 0.5% what? Tamil Nadu SGST. Is my point clear? Payment is always state-wise. Turnover, compliance, return, records are always state-wise. Is my point clear to all? Always remember, payments are always state-wide. But if you want to check whether you are eligible or not, then you have to take state-wise ka turnover or aggregate. Aggregate. Now, everyone, I want to ask you one question. Tell me one thing. Supposingly, this is my first year of operation. Till now, I have never come under registration. Okay? Till now, I have never come under registration. It means this is my 1st of April. 1st of April. I started my business. Till here, I did not cross 40 lakh rupees. Here, supposingly, I crossed 40 lakh rupees. Tell me one thing, am I liable for registration now? Tell no. Am I liable for registration? It means here my taxable supplies was 40 lakh rupees. Here supposingly my taxable supplies is 60 lakh rupees. Supposingly my interest income during the year is 20 lakh rupees. Can you tell me what is my turnover on which I have to pay the tax? Do I have to pay on 40 lakh rupees? Tell no, you can go wrong, it's okay. Tell me, will you have to pay on 40 lakh rupees? Why? Because from 1st April up to the date of becoming liable, this date tak to you are not liable only. So you will never pay on 40 lakh rupees. You will never pay on interest. So can you tell me on what turnover will you be liable to pay the tax? 60 lakh. So whenever you are checking tax payable, how much pay you have to pay the tax, you should always take turnover, and that will always exclude 1st April up to the date of becoming liable. Sir, 1st April say up to the date of becoming liable, whatever is your turnover, that turnover should always be excluded. That turnover should always be excluded while determining the turnover for paying the tax. And also what you should exclude is exclude from your turnover interest and discount, and hence I have excluded interest or discount. Can you tell me on what turnover will I have to make the payment? 60 lakh rupees. Is my point clear to all? Now in the next year, in the current financial year, I have to see last year ka turnover. Now can you tell me when I am checking eligibility in the current year, what will be my last year ka turnover? Tell no. Will you take 40 lakh also? Will you take 60 lakh also? Yes, but you will not take 20 lakh rupees, and hence when I am checking aggregate turnover of the last year to check eligibility, I will exclude this also, but I will exclude interest. So remember, for determining eligibility, aggregate turnover will always include supplies from 1st April up to the date of becoming liable. But always remember one thing, aggregate turnover say or turnover say always exclude what everyone? Interest or discount. Is this point clear to all? Can we go ahead everyone? Next. People, over here is section number 10.5. Section number 10.5 goes ahead and says, supposingly, people, supposingly, you went ahead and took composition scheme in spite of being eligible. You are not eligible only, but you still took composition scheme. Can the officer throw you out of composition scheme? See what they are telling over here. If proper officer has reason to believe that person is not eligible under composition scheme, or you have contravened some provision, but still you are continuing under composition scheme, then first he will send you one show cause notice. SCN means what everyone? Show cause notice. Now you have to go ahead and reply within how many days? 15 days. Once you go ahead and reply, he will go ahead and issue an order within how many days? Next 30 days. In which form everyone? CMP 07. Either he will allow you composition or he will deny the composition. People, if he denies composition, no, he will tell you, hey, you were paying only 1%. Actually, your supply pay tax was how much? 18%. It means you are doing cheating by paying 1%. The differential 17%, he will go ahead and recover from you along with penalty. And for that, 73, 74 he will invoke, means he will go ahead and give you a demand order. Are we all clear till here? Now listen to me very carefully. People, tell me one thing. I was carrying on the business in the current financial year. In between, I violated the condition. I crossed the threshold limit, or I voluntarily want to withdraw, or I violate the condition and I become ineligible. If I become ineligible, means next day onwards I'll become normal person. I can take ITC, I can issue tax invoice. But always remember, whenever you are getting out of composition scheme, you have to go online and file an intimation suo motu along with in GST CMP 04 within how many days? 7 days of the event. And it says, in case of self-withdrawal, CMP 04 can be filed before the date of such withdrawal. People, tell me one thing, to get inside composition scheme, which form to file? CMP 02. To get out of composition, which form to file? CMP 04. That's all. Everyone over here now, listen. One small point. Tell me one thing. This point which is there, no, this one. This point I am not talking now. This point you will learn after we are done with the ITC ka chapter. This part which is there, we will be learning in the chapter of ITC. Okay? Can we go ahead everyone? What is this part telling? This part goes ahead and says, everyone, this part goes ahead and says, when you are under composition scheme, you never took ITC. But now you came under, okay. When you were under as a normal person, now you became what? Composition. Whatever ITC you had taken, you have to go ahead and reverse the ITC. And that is told over here. You have to file a declaration in GST ITC 03 within how many days? 60 days of the commencement of year. And you have to reverse your ITC on the inputs and capital goods. This is told in your ITC ka chapter. And everyone tell me one thing. I was under composition scheme. Now I became normal registered person. I was under composition. So was I taking ITC or I was not taking ITC? I was not taking ITC. Now do I have to take ITC? Yes. So they are going ahead and telling You have to file one ITC 01 and details of the input in stock, semi-finished goods and finished goods you have to give, plus capital goods ka details you have to give, and you will be able to take the ITC. Is my point clear to all? Everyone over here, listen to me very carefully. This chapter, here I have just given, this is just for a reading purpose, everyone. Reading purpose, normal scheme and composition scheme ka difference. This is just for your reading. Everyone listen here. This chapter is a B graded chapter. 4 to 6 mark, sometime it comes, sometime it does not come. Okay, everyone, 4 to 6 marks is the weightage of the chapter. Sometime it can come, sometime it cannot come. You know what is the most important part you have to always remember in this chapter? First of all, sir, your last year ka turnover. For which state 75 lakh, for which state 1.5 crore. This is the most important part you must remember. You must remember that whenever you are going for composition scheme, pan-wise all India basis has to go in together. Pan-wise all India basis has to go in together. You have to remember who are the people eligible. MTR. You have to remember MTR can supply little services, which is 10% of 5 lakh, whichever is higher. You have to remember who are the people ineligible. Who are the people ineligible, everyone? Mines. You should remember section number 10.2a that, sir, if you are not eligible under 10.1 and 10.2, then you can come for 10.2a. But 10.2a ka condition is what, everyone? Your last year ka turnover should be up to only 50 year, and current year also you should not exceed how much? 50 lakh rupees. 50 lakh and 50 lakh. Is my point clear to all? These are some of the most important points. Other than that, these 2 points which I told you are very, very important. Please be careful about it. That's all are the most important points from the chapter. I'll close my revision on the chapter of composition scheme.